Chinese civilization is one of the oldest continuous culture in the world. It started out as the Yellow River Valley civilization over 4,000 years ago. It is bounded by mountains, deserts, and seas. Ancient Chinese culture stressed the importance of relation between family members and between a king and his people. China was also secular, since they never placed a religion class having influential power. Instead, they followed certain philosophy, such as Taoism, where people would think about nature, balance life, and remain humble. China also invented the institution of examinations, where taking certain tests would see if one would qualify for civil services. China created a strong central government with bureaucratic form of government. An emperor always ruled over the land during the dynasty. China also has social classes, where the royalty and wealthy were on top, followed by scholars and knights, then peasant farmers, artisans, and finally the merchant class. Many of ancient Chinese inventions have been modified and are continued to be used today, such as food, spices, jewelry, paper, and weapons. Due to the invention, many explorers from Europe were interested in them and spread them back to their home country. They were the ones to start paper money. They were the ones to have different spices to food and medicine, giving them flavor. They were the ones to have a lot of luxury items, making Europeans wanting to obtain them. They were the ones that were expert as explosives, making everyone want their weapons. Many modern things today wouldn't have been possible without the ancient Chinese, making the first traps of those inventions. Therefore, the phrase "made in China" is not misplaced here. Ancient Indian civilization started out at the Indus River civilization, near present-day Pakistan over 4,000 years ago. Over the years, many invaders came to India and created the Indian civilization, establishing their influences. Ancient India was influenced by two main religions, Hinduism and Buddhism. Hinduism is said is a blending of different religions over time as they came into India. It is also very polytheistic, with their many gods. Buddhism reflected the characteristic of life, where good deeds led toward salvation, while evil deeds are punished. India also has the caste system, where everyone belonged in their social classes and interacting between them was highly discouraged. Its government was mainly imperial, with some division along the way. Ancient India contributed to architecture, science, medicine, and technology. They also contributed greatly to mathematics, with the creation of the concept of zero. It is because of them why we have our numbering system today to include zero. They also contributed the spread of religion, mainly Buddhism, into China. One similarity between the two ancient civilizations is that they use social classes. China placed the wealthy first, followed by people with education and job. and then the travelers. India has the caste system, separating each individual into their respective social classes, and kept them that way. One reason why they both use social classes to run their society is most likely because social classes have been around since before these two civilizations were started. People have been using social classes since ancient times, probably since the first human appeared. It is most likely natural that the two societies would split up into social classes because that's what the way practically every civilization was organized. When people started to move into different areas to establish civilization, they brought along the concept of social classes because that was the way human civilization has always lived with. Though it is said that everyone is equal today, to be honest, we even use social classes today, whether it is mentally or politically. One difference between the two civilizations is that China was secular and India was very religious. China didn't emphasize on religion too much, and instead focused more on interacting with other people and nature around them. They wanted people to have relations with other people and establish morals. China had followed philosophy, teaching and ways of life, rather than religion. India, on the other hand, was very religious. They had two notable religions throughout the country, Hinduism and Buddhism. Hinduism has many practices and worship a number of gods. Anything could be disguised as a god, so people have to be aware of everything. Buddhism focuses on self-actualization, realizing oneself and reaching nirvana. A reason why the two civilizations view religion differently is probably geography. Like stated earlier, China is bounded by deserts, mountain and sea. People between the two civilizations probably didn't freely travel back and forth between them, even though they were right next to each other. The Himalayan mountains separate the two. Therefore, religion could not travel around until the time came when transportation was made available to traverse the terrain. By the time Buddhism could spread to China, which it eventually did, China was already mostly secular. So it's most likely due to geographic reasons that the two view religion differently.